Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Baxter Student Ambassador Program webinar. Presenting for us today is Britteny Everett, one of our BSAP finalists from Confederation College. Now, just before I get started, I'd like to remind everyone that if you guys have any questions at all during this presentation, feel free to type them into the Q&A box, which is found in your Zoom toolbar, and those questions will be answered after the presentation has finished. Hi, Brittany, how are you today?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm doing good, thanks. So since you're already sharing your screen with us, you can get started whenever you're ready.
Okay. Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Britteny Everett, and I'm going to talk to you today about Elmhurst Resort, Spa, and Conference Center. So I'm going to try to give you all an overview of the numerous services and facilities at Elmhurst, how people can get there, and some of the reasons why people should choose Elmhurst as their next holiday destination. Yes, and after, for any questions that you have, I will try to answer them to the best of my abilities after the presentation. So to start, Elmhurst Resort is an all-season resort and conference center located on the shores of Rice Lake near Keene, Ontario. For anybody today who's unfamiliar with Keene, it's located in southern Ontario, between Toronto, Peterborough, and Ottawa. It's a 240-acre property with 1.6 kilometers of shoreline. Elmhurst offers quality accommodation, dining, and outdoor activities for people of all ages and skill levels, as well as it is a fully functioning spa, wedding venue, and conference center. So in order for people to get to Elmhurst, they'll most likely have to drive there by either taking a taxi, renting, or taking their own personal vehicles. Flying is an option to get there, and I would recommend probably taking either Billy Bishop or Pearson International. While they're there, they can, if they choose to, they can rent a vehicle at the airport. For a weekly base rate, it costs about $200 at Pearson and about $250 at Billy Bishop. This type of vehicle is about the size of a Ford Focus that you can rent, but in the end, it all depends on what the customer is going to be needing in order to get there. That will determine the price. After that, it's about a 90-minute drive east from Toronto along Highway 401 and then up towards Highway 115. So Elmhurst, for accommodation, has 30 cottages for guests to stay in. They all have a bit of a rustic beauty with modern amenities such as Wi-Fi, full bathrooms and kitchens and fireplaces. All the cottages are along the shoreline of Rice Lake, so guests also have their own waterfront deck, private docks, and gas barbecues. Cottages can hold up from 1 to 5 bedrooms depending on the occupancy rate of the cottage, and which is good for different demographics of groups such as couples, families, or larger groups. Furthermore, if clients are wanting to bring their dogs, or if they or a family member is having problems with accessibility, Elmhurst also provides pet-friendly and wheelchair accessible cottages. So depending on how long your clients stay, there's a deposit fee for the cottages. It's about $200 for one night, $300 for 2 nights, and $500 for weekly stays. As well, since Elmhurst is an all-season resort, it's typically cheaper to go during the winter time, which is about from October to May, and during weekdays from Sunday to Thursday, compared to the summertime and weekends. So currently, Elmhurst has some accommodation packages up till May. These accommodation packages are typically 2-night stay and include service charges, housekeeping services, and access to some of the recreational facilities. Some of them, but not all, might also include dining and some of the paid activities that can be done at Elmhurst. So right now there is the couch potato package, which is going to be ending in May 2020. So for each couple that stays, they get it's $499 for midweek, $539 per couple on the weekends, and for each additional person staying at the cottage, it's about $239. There's also the spring special, which is going to be ending here in April 30th. So for each 2-night stay that they purchase, guests get a third night half price. The March getaway is happening right now, and it's ending March 31st. So if clients book a 4-night stay, they get their 5th night free. And then finally, we have the Celebrating 60 Plus, which is ending May of this year. And guests get 20% off their daily rates on midweek packages when they're 60 and over. So in the summertime, there'll also be other additional packages based on those time periods. So like any cottages, there's a wide range of activities for clients to enjoy. Majority of them are free and are usually outdoor, including swimming in Rice Lake, fishing, hiking. They also have floating and dry playgrounds, badminton nets, and a interesting life-size chessboard. There's also horse-drawn carriage and sleigh rides that occur throughout the year as well. Some of the paid activities at Elmhurst include any boating rentals or motor rentals if clients did not bring their boats with them. There's air charter tours and the use of the spa. Some of the top activities that happen at Elmhurst include scavenger hunts, campfires, snowshoeing, water tubing, skating, and the fireworks. Some of the activities I think are most enticing for clients and guests at Elmhurst include the following. So the first one I think is really interesting is the Ontario Children's Outdoor Charter. This aims to get children outside in order to discover the wonders of nature. So at Elmhurst, children can receive an activity passport, which they can mark off for each activity that they do out there. It's also a fun way for families to bond with their children in the outdoors. There's the Canadian Signature Experience, and it's one of the free spirit adventures that can be purchased at Elmhurst. It includes a 15-minute sightseeing flight with a luncheon that overlooks Rice Lake. This package usually happens in the summertime, but depending on the weather, it can also occur during spring and fall. And this costs about $79 per person based on 2 people per flight. It makes a really nice romantic experience for couples and newlyweds. What's interesting is that there's a lot of different arts and entertainment that can be found also at Elmhurst. So there's the Photography and Art Gallery, which holds a lot of works created by local artists in the area. There's the Zim Art Gallery, which is a bunch of sculptures that you can find outside that were made in Zimbabwe. And finally, in the summertime, people can also enjoy live music performances on the boardwalk. And this is just a nice way for clients and guests to meet and mingle with others throughout Canada and internationally. If your clients are more inclined to do like golfing or maybe some trail rides, Elmhurst is also near the Belmere Winds Golf Course. So it's an 18-hole golf course, about 10 minutes drive away, as well as the Stillbrook Riding Stables, where clients can book horse riding trail tours, and that's about a 5-minute drive from the resort. And then finally, what I think is most unique about this particular resort is the fact that Elmhurst is also a fully functioning farm. So guests can actually take a tour of the barn, they can see the animals, and they get the chance to help with daily chores. And this is just a nice way for guests to experience farm life firsthand. The farm animals and the plants that are also produced here are also used exclusively at the resort, and the food is known as Elmhurst's Own. And then any food that's not made on site is usually outsourced from the local communities, or sometimes even throughout Canada, depending on what the product is. So for dining options at Elmhurst, there are 2 restaurants, and I would call 2 meal packages. There for the restaurants. There's the Hearthside, which is, I find, a more of an indoor and fine dining atmosphere. Here, guests can purchase pan-seared trout, duck breast, lamb shank, and of course, Elmhurst's own steaks. It's also home to the famous Sunday brunch, and this brunch costs $19.95 per person, and for children under 12, it's $16.95. For this, it's recommended to probably have a reservation, especially during public holidays, as it's very popular. The other restaurant is called the Wild Blue yonder, and it's sort of like a pub and patio restaurant. Here you can get like pizzas, fish and chips, burgers, and it's also host to the Saturday night roast beef buffet, which costs about $19.95 per person. For the meal experiences, you can get barbecue at the cottage. So instead of going to the restaurants, if you prefer to cook your own food, Elmhurst provides veggies and steaks from on-site for your pleasure. Any other groceries, though, you'll have to probably purchase from Keene, Hastings, or Peterborough. And then finally, there's the Country Classic Meal Package, which this package can be added on to any of your accommodation packages, where you can purchase either 1 day's worth of meals, or you can purchase the meals for your whole stay. During midweek, this costs $74 for adults and $54 for children. And on the weekend, this costs $99 for adults and $69 for children. And that is typically because you also get the chance to eat at the buffet and the Sunday brunch. So Elmhurst also does have some vegan and vegetarian options as well in their menus. For any food allergies or sensitivities guests have, they just have to let Elmhurst know, and they'll try to accommodate as best they can, though any gluten-free options are at a $5 surcharge. For groups 10 or more, there's a 15% gratuity on each table. As well as that, for your clients or guests that enjoy wine, Elmhurst does have their own wine cellar, which is home to various Ontario and Canadian vintages. Guests can purchase a wine tasting for $15 per person, or they can do a private wine tasting at the Hearthside. The spa at Elmhurst provides a wide range of activities for both men and women. So they can get pedicures and manicures, body therapies, waxings, facial and cosmetic sessions, or group services and packages. Under these categories, there's a wide range of choices to choose from, and they typically range between $40 to $125. Guests can also make these spa retreats half-day or full weekend packages, and these packages can range from $289 up to $450 per person. What's sort of unique about the spa is that all of their skincare and makeup products are eco-friendly and vegan certified. So instead of using animal-based ingredients, it's botanical-based, and which overall makes them better for the environment. If there are guests who want to do weddings at Elmhurst, there are 4 different packages. The barbecue, picnic, whole shebang, and of course the winter weddings. Each of these packages provided include a wedding coordinator, there's some wine cellar tastings. You can also purchase a dramatic ceremony arrival, departure by float plane, etc. So the barbecues, usually small casual weddings. From what I've noticed, they're usually in the afternoon, evenings, and they cost $85 per person. The picnic is a daytime afternoon wedding, costs $75 per person. The whole shebang is a full day event, a waterfront wedding, and that's $110 per person. And then finally the winter weddings, which seem to happen predominantly in February, are considered the traditional Canadiana style, and that costs $110 per person. So there's a wide range of varieties to choose from depending on what the guests' plans and budgets are for their wedding. So finally, there are meeting and conference areas for corporate groups. There's 3 different rooms to choose from depending on the size and what's going on. The Heritage Room, Enterprise Room, and Conservatory Room. The Heritage Room holds up to 120 people. The Enterprise Room holds up to 110, and the Conservatory holds about 80. Elmhurst also provides team building exercises and group experiences, which can include wine tastings, cooking classes, yoga, gourmet campfires, and in the summertime, they can even participate in the Johnny Canuck games. One of the packages that's really popular would be the Mixed Pleasure with Your Business, and that is occurring until April 30th of this year. The cost of it is about $179 per delegate per room. If the delegate wishes to have their own cottage, it's about $239. And this in price includes the 3 meals per day, daily maid service, the use of rec facilities, free parking, as well as the use of the meeting room and all conference amenities. So after all that, why should people promote Elmhurst to their clients? What I think is most important after researching Elmhurst is that Elmhurst is good for clients who are wanting a community living atmosphere. These days, a lot of people are on their phones or on social media, and they're part of this large global community. At Elmhurst, it's a place where people can sort of meet and interact with each other and create a familial community. They can bond with their loved ones, they can put down their phones and just take in what's all around them. This tough sort of demographic atmosphere probably would also cater to like couples, families, and friends and colleagues. There's just sort of hard to explain. It's beautiful of what they're trying to do there. Clients can also appreciate the nostalgic rustic feeling that comes with cottage life with the comforts of their modern amenities, so they don't have to worry about not being connected to people. There are activities for people of all ages, so there's no reason for people to feel like they're bored. Couples and families also don't have to worry about finding pet-friendly or wheelchair accommodation. It's already set up there. As well as Elmhurst is sort of already a self-sufficient resort as they make their own food and all the activities are there, restaurants are there. They don't really have to leave the resort to really do much. Finally, Elmhurst is a resort that's also trying to make a difference in the world by being eco-friendly and sustainable. So in their policies, Elmhurst follows 4 main aspects: their environmental impact, energy consumption, food, and community integration. So some of the many things that they're trying to do is they compost vegetable waste and put that back into their gardens. They have their on-site food production with Elmhurst's own. They try to hire locals first. They have an abundance of outdoor eco-friendly activities. They try to partner with community groups such as the Trans-Canada Trail Association, and they produce their own building materials with their own on-site sawmill. So sort of by encouraging people to go to Elmhurst, they're not only helping the environment and local communities, but they're also helping to reduce some of their own carbon footprint. This also helps Elmhurst by creating long-term clientele that hopefully will last for generations to come. So before I end this, I just want to let you know that if somebody, or if you guys are wanting to go and see and experience Elmhurst firsthand for yourselves, Elmhurst is doing a 2020 meet and greet for familiarization trips for tour companies. So if you have any inquiries on that, I posted the phone number and email to Ms. Pamela Henderson, who'll be able to provide you more information. Thank you all, and yes, thank you.
Thank you so much, Brittany. So we can open up now to any questions that people may have. So if questions get submitted to the Q&A box, I'll read them out to you.
Okay.
And if anyone here in the room with me has a question, I'll put them on the line.
Hi, Brittany. My name is Ian Stalker, and I work with Dan. Do you think Elmhurst is as enjoyable a destination in the winter as it is in the summer?
I think it would depend on what clients and guests are looking for. I think that Elmhurst is a beautiful destination for wintertime, especially if you enjoy ice fishing and skating. I mean, there's probably some logistic issues, especially if you're not used to driving in the wintertime, especially on Toronto's Highway 401. But I think as soon as you make it there, it would be an enjoyable experience for sure.
Great, thank you.
Thanks, Brittany. And what was the biggest challenge you faced when preparing for this webinar presentation?
I found the biggest one was to get my wording right, because when I get excited about a topic, especially this that I've been working so hard on, I start losing my focus and I just get too excited about it. So I start, not being able to speak sometimes. So I found this to be really, really interesting.
Okay, thank you. Janina says, good job, Brittany. You mentioned that there would be a meet and greet for tour companies. Are there tour companies in particular or travel agencies that presently sell packages to the resort?
That is a good question. Unfortunately, I never had time to look that far ahead into it. But I think companies, especially Canadian companies right now, should be looking more into trying to promote inbound tourism to Canadians, because we have so much going on currently in Canada that a lot of Canadians don't realize that we have.
Great, thank you. And Joan asks, was our website the only source you used for info, or were there other sites?
Mainly, I used Elmhurst website, but I also looked at a couple of the, what did I look at? I looked at the Peterborough Inquirer from 2016. I had I looked at an article there. I looked at a blog user that had gone there, who said a lot of good things about like the wine tour that they did, as well as, oh gosh, who else did I look at? Like TripAdvisor as well, to see what they sort of said about it and what the reviews were on there.
Oh, excellent. Okay, thank you. Okay, I do believe that's it for the submitted questions today, but I'd like to thank everyone that tuned into the webinar today. Thank you all so much for taking time out of your day. And Brittany, thank you so much for presenting for us.
Thank you very much. This was a wonderful experience, and I find that even if I did not win, I sort of won by being able to do something I have never thought I could do. So I'd like to thank you all for giving me this opportunity.
Oh, that's great. You're very welcome, Brittany. On behalf of Baxter Media, I'd like to thank you for participating in the 2020 Baxter Student Ambassador Program. We'll be in touch.
Thank you.
Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.